King Charles III's boarding school is making its way to Abu Dhabi. This is the one that was featured on Netflix show The Crown, if you've seen it. So the current king of the United Kingdom's visit to the school was famously documented on Netflix show The Crown. The school is called Gordonston, one of the UK's top independent boarding schools, and it's set to open on Jubail Island in Abu Dhabi in 2026.
Oh my God, that is so cool. And unlike its Scottish sister, this one have a boarding option. Ah. And the amenities of the new school have yet to be revealed. What we do know that is Jubail Island Investment Company and Spaces Investment and Real Estate's Development agreed on the deal to bring the school to Jubail Island.
So we had a deep dive into the fees that would set you back to go to this boarding school in the UK, because they haven't announced amenities that are coming to the Abu Dhabi school. So we think it's a day school. However, per term, the prestigious Scottish school will set you back between 48,000 dirham and 73,000 dirham, depending on which year you are in the senior boarding school, with 1 year at the high end, so between year 9 and year 12, I think in the UK system, that's how it works. A year will cost you 218,000 dirham. Therefore, your child is gone.
That is quite expensive.
It's expensive.
But
that's 1 year, and you're thinking they're going to do 6 years.
Yeah.
Now that's at the high end, but let's say, for example, it's between 100 and something a year. I would be, if my child was in one of those schools, like, do you know how much the second is costing me?
Yeah. If your kid bunks even a day, it's disownment that instant. Like, you're not bunking school. There is no sick days for you.
You'd wonder if there's massive pressure, because obviously for some people, that amount of money would be a drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
But for some parents, they're thinking, I really want to give them this type of school education. I looked at the website, by the way, and they go on yachts. They're helping the community. They're doing all sorts of like extra initiatives and activities, and maybe parents want to give that education to them. But then the pressure on the child must be quite tough.
It is a massive flex to be sending them to a school that's so closely related to King Charles and royalty. But at the same time, like, just thinking about, like, the technicalities of the location. If I was staying in Dubai and I wanted my kid to be studying there, it just makes sense to make it a boarding school, although it's not.
Are we talking about the Abu Dhabi one?
Yeah, the Abu Dhabi.
Oh, but I think there is a number of elite secondary schools here as well. So this isn't like the first one to come.
Yeah, I know there are, but it's like if I wanted to send my child like to this one specifically, and that too, like the location, and I think I think it's a very like secluded location
in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
it's on Jubail Island. It's a new development.
Yeah.
We have someone from the Abu Dhabi team in the back. Can you give us any information about Al Jubail Island? They're redeveloping it or developing it. So yeah, I think it's going to be a brand new facility for sure. They're not bringing over their Hogwarts-style castle.
Petition. Oh, are they not?
They're not. They're not transporting it, which would be a shame. Oh. But they are planning to bring the ethos of the school, which is teamwork, resilience, all of that. But how do you bring that?
Yeah. How do you bring that? The ethos of a school. You bring it with, like, I think how you instill like the values and what the assemblies and the teachings and like the way you kind of instill these teachings upon the children.
We're going off today. If you would like a little rundown of King Charles's experience at the school, it is documented on the show The Crown. He famously didn't enjoy it, but he says that the show actually went further. So he apparently was bullied, but I think the show showed a much more extreme version of what he actually went through, apparently.
I feel like there are two kinds of people in this world. One that love boarding schools, have had the best experiences of their lives, and have made friends for a lifetime, memories of a lifetime. And then you have people who absolutely hate boarding schools, had the worst experience, hated everyone there, hated their time there, missed home every single day. So I don't think there's a middle ground for boarding schools.
So true. I went, loved it. However, I remember I went to a boarding school when I was about 10 years old, and it was for 1 year. And there was one guy who just hated it. Every single day he cried. and the parents would come down at the weekends and kind of look after him and brought him tucked like sweets and things, but he just didn't fit. And you're thinking, looking back on that, that would have been a really difficult situation for him. So I think that you should probably give it a week or two. If they're still hating them, maybe pull them out. I don't know.
True. Because it's like what you're living there. So you don't want to be in that state of mind 24/7. If you're hating it, if you're hating your environment that much and just being stuck, it feels like prison at one point.
I don't know.